Good morning. It is Thursday, June 6th, and today is the memorial of Saint Norbert. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handley. Yesterday, the Senate failed to pass a bill prohibiting bans on contraception. More on that in a moment, but first, this news. A 2-year-old was killed and his mother and sibling were hospitalized after a tornado ripped through Livonia yesterday. The National Weather Service is investigating the size and strength of the twister. Livonia residents reported there were no warning sirens ahead of or during the storm, and the Weather Service said it did not issue a warning, saying it developed too rapidly. Charges of bank and wire fraud have been leveled against former Detroit Conservancy CFO William Smith. The nonprofit organization says a review of the records show that Smith took approximately $40 million over the past 12 years. Court documents allege Smith paid for his family's credit card bills and used funds for a company he controlled called the Joseph Group. Smith was fired on May 31st as the FBI began their investigation. The Conservancy board says they will attempt to recover the money from Smith. 2 men are in a Kent County jail after they were arrested with a total of 3 handguns and an AR-15 rifle after a high school graduation in Grand Rapids last week. Police Chief Eric Windstrom says the 19-year-olds Cheyenne Armstrong and Anthony Laster were arraigned for carrying concealed weapons and for resisting police.
We had is masked individuals, armed to the teeth, that weren't there to celebrate a graduation. There's something very wrong there and something very, very scary.
They were seen by a sergeant at Calvary Church at the graduation ceremony for Link Learning, a virtual high school for students who are at risk of not completing high school or who have dropped out, and were in a group that were all wearing masks and not paying attention. When the officer stopped their vehicle, one of the suspects tried to run, but was caught. Officials say 2 students are injured after a school bus crash in Huron Township. The Huron Township Department of Public Safety says the students and the driver of a vehicle were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries earlier this week. Huron School District Superintendent Donovan Rowe says they are happy their driver was not at fault. The students sustained minor injuries. And the city of Detroit and the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation say they are now open to proposals to redevelop the former Packard plant, but there are some requirements that are not negotiable. DEGC Chief Operating Officer Kenyatta Hairston Brudges says a portion of the Packard factory needs to remain standing and be used in the new development.
Ideally, we would want automotive uses, advanced manufacturing uses, uses that will really create high-paying jobs for Detroit's residents.
The developer also needs to have a proven track record. The Packard plant was a state-of-the-art facility when it was built, but has been neglected for decades. This is Michigan Mornings.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
We want listeners to see that God has a unique and unrepeatable plan for their lives and how to rejoice in the work God's doing in their hearts and in their homes.
God wants to set us free, to live more abundantly. More to Life explores what that really looks like, living it out in our everyday life and relationships.
More to Life with Dr. Greg and Lisa Popchak.
In the Motor City today, we'll start mostly cloudy, but it should gradually get clearer. The high will be near 78. Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a low around 58. Tomorrow, we'll have a chance of afternoon showers and it will be cooler. Our high will be near 71. Saturday, we may see some scattered showers in the afternoon. Our high will be in the mid-70s. Sunday could see some rain as well, and our high will be in the mid-70s. In the Saginaw Valley today, we'll have a chance of showers and our high will be near 74. Tonight we'll have mostly cloudy skies and a low around 55. Tomorrow we may see some showers again. It will be cooler and our high will be near 67. Saturday we may see some rain after 8 a.m. Our high will be in the lower 70s. And Sunday could see some rain as well. Our high then will be in the lower 70s. Welcome back to Michigan Mornings. I'm Matthew Handley. I've got some more news to bring to your attention. The U.S. Senate yesterday voted against the Right to Contraception Act, which would have prevented bans on contraceptives. Here's News Nation's Hannah Brandt.
Lawmakers held a vote on the Right to Contraception Act.
The motion is not agreed to.
Democrats say they're angry that Republicans voted to kill the bill.
Here we are in a situation where today Republican colleagues voted against protecting our freedom to make our own decisions about birth control.
Senator Debbie Stabenow calls the move shocking, but Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says they won't give up.
We Democrats will not stop. We will keep fighting.
The final tally was 51-39. It needed 60 votes to pass. Republicans argued that the vote was a political stunt by Democrats and that contraception is not under attack by them or anyone else. Cracks are beginning to emerge in Attorney General Dana Nessel's case against 15 Republicans whose names appeared on a certificate falsely claiming Donald Trump won the 2020 election in Michigan. Earlier this week, Judge Kristen Simmons, who was appointed by Governor Gretchen Whitmer, questioned the credibility of the state's top prosecutor, Howard Schock. He testified on Tuesday that the elector strategy was a concerted effort to cause a pause in the elector process. Judge Simmons responded by asking him how citizens trying to get their legislatures to pause is a crime. The AG has also failed to show what advice was given at a meeting room before GOP electors signed the document, and the only cooperating witness has testified he thought it was a legitimate process. At the end of these preliminary hearings, the judge must determine if the state has presented enough evidence for this case to go to trial. You're listening to Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio. St. Gregory the Great says, since the dawn goes from darkness into light, it is right that the Church of the Elect should be called Dawn or First Light. As it is led from the night of disbelief into the light of faith, it is opened up to the splendor of heavenly brightness, just as the dawn bursts into the day after darkness. I'm Matthew Handley. That does it for this edition of Michigan Mornings. Stay connected with me throughout the day on X. I'm at Radio Handley, and Lord willing, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.